Yeah, they counted us out, now we lead the division again. At the top of the round, 17 and Jody with the hands. AI-12 split the divas, you know that we winning again. AI-12 split the divas, you know that we winning again. They don't want to see the squad, they just watch us beat the line. They don't want to see us blitz the number 52 and hit you from the side.
What you just heard and are still hearing is the WISCO Kids. That's our new intro from here on out. You can follow them on Twitter at Real WISCO Kids, RealWISCO KIDZ. Check them out. They got a bunch of good shit. Welcome to the third episode of the NSFW Dynasty Football Podcast. With me today is my co-host, BJ Kolb.
Gosh, this seems like deja vu.
Yeah, you want to know why? Because
It's
our
weird.
Producer, Nick Gofford, didn't save and the program crashed an hour into recording.
These
So
are all
this-
lies.
This
This
is our
never
second
happened.
time running through it, so
Never happened.
if you sense a little angst and hostility during this recording, that is probably why. Fuck you, Nick.
Yeah, not the happiest right now.
Anyways, what we're going to be talking about today are the NFL headlines that have happened. A bunch of shit's happened, and we'll get through all that.
Browns Dynasty.
Shut up.
It just
And-
sounds worse the second time through.
And the majority of what we'll be talking about today are the rookie running back rankings and shit from the Combine. The first part will be takeaways from the Combine, surprise players to keep an eye on during their pro days, the biggest risers, the biggest fallers, what running backs we're excited about, not named Saquon, and our post-Combine rankings. And we'll finish it off with a little Shark Tank little game.
A little Shark Tank.
All right.
Full of running backs. All right, so start off with some headlines. Plenty of those this week with the Combine and everything. Plus the franchise tag deadline. So why don't we start there? They didn't use it on Allen Robinson. You guys surprised or what?
Yeah, I'm somewhat surprised. All signs are definitely pointing to them franchise tagging them or extending them long term.
Still have a chance to do that.
They do. I find it highly unlikely that they do it because they want to keep Marquise Lee. Like you said in the last podcast, it's unlikely that it's going to happen. I still think it could. I hope it doesn't. I kind of hope that he ventures off into the free agent market, visits teams like the 49ers or Bears or Redskins, which he's all linked to. And I think those three would be a much better situation than where he's at now.
Yeah, I'm not surprised, really. Maybe a little bit. I think that they're still going to re-sign him. I do think that. I'll be more surprised if they don't sign him, honestly.
See, I wouldn't. I don't know. If all the sounds coming out from their camp was that they're gonna let him walk. I heard a lot of reports on that.
I just don't see how you can let a wide receiver one walk. He really brings that offense together.
Yeah, but they're based around the run game now. That's a Fournette team. That's not a passing team.
Yeah, but it's so nice to have that number one guy when you do need to throw the
If
ball.
he hits the free agent market, I don't think he comes back.
We'll find out in a day or two.
All right, much like Robinson, Sammy Watkins didn't get a franchise tag. What do you guys think?
No, I'm not surprised. I actually said it last week. I don't see him coming back, even though the Rams are talking to him, trying to sign him. But I think he leaves and gets a bigger deal somewhere else.
Yeah, I'm not surprised they didn't use it on him. We all knew they were going to use it on Joyner. What I do think that he's going to stick around, though. They actually are in active talks with him right now to keep him around. So I think that is where they stay. I think they find a way to make it stay. I think it would be in his best interest to stay so he doesn't have to start fresh and everything like that. So I do think that he's going to end up back. I'm not surprised that they used the tag.
It would be nice to see him stay there just because he's
see-
already had a season there with Goff.
See
and
what
I
he can
feel
actually
like he can,
do with multiple years with a decent quarterback.
and
and a
actually
good head
getting a
coach.
decent target share, hopefully.
Yeah.
Instead of letting him run wide open and not throw the ball to him.
Yeah, so.
All right, and looks like the Steelers did use it on Le'Veon Bell. You guys shocked?
Not even a little bit. There's no way the Steelers would let him walk. He's a huge focal point of that offense.
You think he's going to hold out?
I think he'll miss the whole preseason, yeah. He'll come back about
If he misses the
after the
preseason,
last
it's
game.
only
The
going to be
preseason.
because he can. It's
it's
going to be because of his contract.
well, yeah. If he doesn't have to show up, why would he?
Yeah.
Can't get in trouble for it. He's not technically on the team.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
he signs it.
I'm not surprised they tagged him. I mean, they really did it to send a message and say, hey, we're going to focus on our team's best interest. We're not going to feed into your ego. Yeah. I have a good buzz going on after this is our second run through. So. We're not going to feed into your ego and give you this big contract just because you want it. We're going to tag you, make you be on our team, and then because it's in the best interest of the Steelers.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Looks like Chris Ivory left the Jags, going to the Bills. What do you think the impact on the fantasy leagues are going to be this year?
I actually think he's going to have more of an impact on the Bills than a lot of people out there think, including you, now that I know, second time around.
You don't have to keep bringing it up. I think I got the point.
It's coming up. I think that he's going to come in more into the backfield to relieve Shady so he doesn't have to take as many reps as he did last year and risk injury because we all know he likes to get hurt.
Yeah, but you really think they're going to take their best guy off the field? The best
I mean,
player?
they're going to take him off when they feel like he needs to be spelled. They're not going to give him as many touches as what he had last year. It's just not going to happen.
I think Ivory's only real impact is to vulture touchdowns from Shady, and it's not as much of a fantasy value for him as it just takes away from LaShawn McCoy.
I mean, that may be the case. I don't see it going that way, but either way, this is the guy that if you have LaShawn McCoy, you need to go and get because he's going to be the key handcuff.
And it'll be cheap.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone expects.
They may
a
ask a
whole lot
little
of
bit more
workload.
from you because they know you have Shady and know you want him, but it's not going to be, what the fuck, I'm not paying that.
Yeah.
All right. These poor bastards that got traded to the Browns. I don't know why they have to be stuck in that shitty town of Cleveland, but
Who went there, Nick? Can you tell us?
Yeah, Tyrod Taylor and Jarvis Landry. Why the hell? Well, I guess they didn't have a choice in it.
Nope.
That sucks.
But yeah, I feel like they're definitely making a push to not suck ass anymore. And they're gonna win 5 to 7 games.
Let's be real.
Could
It's the Browns.
could push for a 500 record.
500.
Yeah,
Shooting
8-8.
high.
I think that's like
That's pushing.
that's the highest of the high right there.
Yeah, that's pretty high.
But that gives them a quarterback to use for a year or two while they groom a rookie. And I think adding Jarvis gives them one of the better wide receiver cores in the league.
Yeah, I definitely think that they put himself in to win a few games, maybe make some noise. They're definitely not going to make the playoffs, so let's not even talk about that anymore. I know there's a lot of people out there saying that they will. They're not.
That's not going to happen.
Yeah, they're the Browns.
Maybe in a couple years.
It's probably a lot of the Cleveland fans that live in Cleveland and they do a lot of crack
The,
there.
the closet Cleveland Brown fans are coming out. Tyrod Taylor coming in definitely adds value to Jarvis Landry and Josh Gordon because he excels at throwing the long ball and his short routes. Where he struggles. He struggles going intermediate. So I can see Gordon, he's going to have a lot of big games, but he's also going to have those games where he doesn't score because they don't hook up or, stuff like that. Where Jarvis Landry, I think, is going to be the more consistent target there because they will dink and dunk to him.
I'm not sure about that. I think with Jarvis being there, that really opens up Josh Gordon to not be double covered every fucking play. And he'll have more ability just to beat his guy.
Yeah, but Tyrod Taylor is also a conservative guy, so I think that they'll be able to. He's going to lean towards dinking and dunking to Jarvis and then hitting Josh Gordon when he's completely wide open, and there's no way in hell that he's going to fucking miss the throw.
All right, yeah, we'll see.
A little more on that. Jarvis came from Miami, so how do you think that affects them guys there?
I did bring that up earlier.
Oh, did you? A little recap.
It definitely hurts him. Like, he's one of the better possession wide receivers in the game.
I think that if Devontae Parker is gonna break out, this is the year. If he doesn't do it this year, fucking cut his bitch ass off your team.
Yep, you guys held on to him for so long. If he doesn't do it this year, it's time for him to go. I don't know. You're not going to be able to trade him because obviously everybody's thinking that, but he needs to get off your team.
All right, here's why I was highly anticipated for this fucking podcast, because this one we're going to talk about young buff men in underwear at the combine.
In tights.
This is a great
Underwear
subject.
Olympics is what they call it.
Yeah.
Where dicks pop out of them and everything.
That should happen
That
more
should
often,
happen.
I think.
Yeah, you'd like
Jesus.
to see.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what the hell?
That's a
Wow,
weirdo.
jeez.
You're weird.
So anyways, yeah, we're going to run over a few things, actually quite a bit from the combine, because that's what happened
Yeah, it's
this
going to
week.
be the majority of this.
So the first topic,
Last
I guess
few
we'll
weeks.
just do your first instinct takeaways on the combine.
BJ.
Oh, yeah, I'll go
No,
first.
I'm
Oh.
saying, BJ, did you really think Saquon's value could get any higher than it possibly was before?
That sounded scripted as fuck. But no, I didn't.
I swear to God, that wasn't. Oh, it was. That was right there. That's one of the things that was.
Okay, you guys just fucked that up. It worked really well the first time around.
It was a lot more smooth.
But no, I didn't think his value could go up much higher. Obviously it did, because he killed it at the combine.
It was pretty ridiculous. People are drafting him as their running back 1 in some dynasty leagues, which is just insane.
Startups.
Yes.
That is insane. I cannot justify taking a Saquon Barkley over Zeke, or mainly my main guy would be like Le'Veon Bell, because he's done it for multiple years. He's a proven stud in the NFL. I cannot justify taking a rookie coming out, because the fact is that we still don't know. Like, we know, but we don't know how
I
good
think
he's
his
going to be.
floor is super safe, though.
It is safe, but Le'Veon's floor is super safe.
Yep, but he's also had huge workloads. I'm
He
in no way am I saying I'm taking Saquon
Yeah.
over Le'Veon. I'm hoping that I get to pick a little later and can just take Saquon.
Yeah.
Because that's where he's
right now, I think as soon as you get your Zeke, your Gurley, your Le'Veon, DJ, and there's one more guy I'm thinking of.
Gurley? Did you say
I
Gurley?
said Gurley. I mean, I even at that, I think I would take him as the 5th running back coming off the board, and I don't feel safe about it. I'd definitely take him over all the running backs that came out last year, just
Yep.
because we know what he's going to be. We can say that we know that he's going to be better than him.
Yes.
Where we can't say we know he's going to be better than Le'Veon Bell, because he's a monster.
Yep.
So
Some other guys. How did you feel about Scarborough and Chubb? They had pretty great combines themselves.
yeah, I was a huge fan of Chubb's combine. Actually, I think if it wasn't for his knee injury and he played that whole year, right now we would be talking completely different with this whole
1A,
Barkley talk.
1B.
It would be 1A would be Barkley, 1B would be Chubb right there. The fact is when you're as elite as Chubb is, and you go out with as gruesome as an injury as he did, you're
was a
never going to
bad
come back
injury.
the same. You're never going to be viewed the same. So even though he came out and had 2 really good years after that and had a really good combine, people aren't going to view you the same, because
Of what happened
Yeah, they
to
saw
your
your
knee.
knee fucking twirling around in the air. So
Yeah, it was
it's just not.
gruesome.
He's getting downgraded because of that. It's not right. And this combine proved that he's still at that elite level, and he's still going to be good in the NFL. So
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of Chubb.
I do really like him. I want to see his hands. I want to see him used a little more than that aspect, but we'll talk about that later. And Scarborough, he put up a very nice combine himself.
Yeah, Scarborough, everybody knew he was going to test well. But I don't think they knew that he was going to test as well as he did.
Yeah, he exceeded expectations.
He blew a lot of the drills out of the water, just kind of like how Saquon did when he went through all his drills. You had Saquon popping out of a lot of drills, and then all the drills that he popped out, you had Bo Scarborough right behind him, which is nice to see. I still don't see how his talents are going to translate over to the NFL, because it's not like he had a great career. He didn't really stick out like a lot of the top running backs did.
Yeah.
But if you are drafting in later rounds and you need a running back, he's definitely someone to keep an eye on and take a chance on, because he's not going to go high in a lot of drafts.
No, he may be a late second in a rookie draft, maybe even later than that.
And that's the perfect time to take him. If you bank on him, I mean, if you're going to throw all your marbles in his basket and you're going to take a running back in the second round, that's the guy to do it in.
Late second, early third,
Yeah.
yeah, something like that. All right, another running back who impressed, at least in one of the drills, Rashad Penny, I don't think anyone expected him to run a 4.46 40.
I didn't.
I was thinking he was closer to a 4.55, 4.6 maybe. But
He definitely exceeded expectations in that. The only thing that I'm worried about is that he's missed all his agility drills.
yeah, he didn't do those. We'll see him at his pro day.
Yeah, but when you're a running back coming out of a small school, you have to do every drill because you have to show your worth. You can't just be like, oh, I'm playing like guys that went to the SEC. I played against all this good NFL talent, so I don't have to do these drills, and I can save it for my pro day so my stock doesn't go down. You really got to put everything out there and get a name for yourself.
I still think Penny's name has been out there since last season, even when Pumphrey was there. And I think he just assumed that he doesn't...
I mean, I get it. He broke the record, but he was at San Diego State. They don't play that good of talent.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I guess we'll see what happens at his pro day then. All right. So two more guys I want to talk about. They're receivers. I know that's next week's thing, but they impressed a lot, so I just want to hit on them. DJ Moore, he killed every drill at the combine.
Mm-hmm.
I liked him a lot. And then another guy, DJ Chark out of LSU.
I mean, out of the two, I think the one that we need to talk about more is Chark.
Oh, yeah.
Shark. I want to call him Shark.
He's a shark.
Yeah, he's a monster. Being as tall as he is,
6'3",
running as fast as he did,
4'3", 440,
and jumping as high as he did,
40-inch vertical,
is nuts.
Yeah,
and that is gonna, whoever gets him, whoever has the joy of getting him, is really like team in the NFL or in fantasy is gonna really enjoy him because there's no doubting those numbers are gonna translate.
He reminds me of a more athletic Martavis Bryant.
Yeah. And Martavis is pretty athletic himself.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
he's good. And the thing is there's so many wide receivers out there that he's not going to be the first one off the board. I think we're in agreement that right now Sutton's the first one off the board.
Yeah, that 3-cone that he put up was pretty fucking nuts.
Yep. And then I think it will go. Well, we're still working on our rankings because obviously for next week, but I think those guys will definitely be high up there, and then come their pro day, they'll exceed expectation and probably move up right under him and see what happens.
Yeah. All right. Well, since Nick's bitch ass walked away, I guess I'll lead into the next thing. Oh, he's back.
All right, so now we're going to talk about guys that got you hard as a rock, stiff as a board. Surprise players to keep an eye on from the combine.
Stiff as a board.
If you could just see the look on my face as that dumbass said that shit. All right. Anyways, my first guy, Kalen Ballage. Everyone knew he was gonna show up at the combine and be a workout freak fast. Not as strong as I was thinking. Nice little vert for himself. 4.46 40. I mean, his tape wasn't the greatest, but I don't know if he was used correctly.
Yeah, that's the one bad thing with Kalen Ballage. I like him. I like that all the athletic tools are there. He's a bigger guy and not as scared to run you over.
He's also a very polarizing player in the Dynasty community. People either love him or they hate him.
Yep. But his tape scares me because, like you said, he didn't put up the numbers. With that,
He did have an 8 touchdown game,
he
however.
did. With that, I like him. He's definitely a guy I'm keeping my eye on. But that's the one thing that worries about me is his lack of production in college.
Yeah. And getting outplayed by a guy who had a 4.7 40.
Yeah.
All right. Who's your first guy?
My first guy that
surprise.
I'm really looking at that really surprised me was Chris Warren III out of Texas.
Yes, I've liked him for a while now.
This guy's a big guy. He's like 247.
Yeah, almost
pushing 250. And you couldn't tell he was that big. He did 25 reps at the bench, which you can expect being that big. He had a 6.98 3-cone, which is right there.
It's under the 7 seconds that you want.
Yep, and a 4.18 20-yard shuttle. There's no...
Also a very good time.
Yeah, you can't really complain of what he did at his size.
Yeah, his one downfall was the 4.69 40, but at that, he's a fucking big ass dude.
He's a big guy, and he's the guy that's going to be a bruiser. Like, he's going to run people over because no one's going to expect a 250-pounder coming down and lowering the fucking wood on you.
Yeah.
I mean, they may expect it, but they're not going to expect all that force
A
coming.
little safety trying to tackle a guy like that.
Yep.
Not fun.
And all those agility times did was prove that he's a bigger guy, but he still has a little shift to his step.
Boom, boom, boom.
Still can make people miss.
The shoulder shake. All right, my second guy, Rock Thomas out of Jacksonville State.
Yes.
Former 5-star guy, transferred from Auburn to Jacksonville State. The dude's tape was nuts. I just loved watching. He played against SEC teams and fared well if you factor in the fact that he has Jacksonville State's offensive line blocking for him.
And the key thing to remember with Rock Thomas is it's not like he transferred because he just couldn't do it. He transferred mainly because his high school coach was then coaching for Jacksonville State.
Yeah, after his freshman year.
Yeah,
yes.
so it makes sense for him to go do that because it's a system that he's familiar with. So I honestly think that was, even though I may have hurt him a little bit getting recognized, I think that was a smart decision.
Well, and I think going there, he knew that he was going to be the guy, where Auburn's got so many other 5-star recruits.
It's about the guys that you know, and he knew a guy that was coaching at a little smaller of a school, but he knew he was going to get
a lot smaller
3 years of playing time out of it.
Yep.
He wasn't going to have to share his time with Kerryon Johnson or Pettyway and guys like that.
And, I mean, his combine, he put up the numbers that I expected Mark Walton, Akram Wadley to put up that they didn't put up.
He put up some good numbers.
Yep.
Can't really complain with that.
All right, and then tell him about your boy.
My guy, you're going to hear his name a lot because from the combine, I absolutely fell in love with this guy. He's a sleeper at the most. He may be dead, he's sleeping so much. But if he was dead, this combine brought him back to life. Chase Edmonds out of Fordham. It should be a no.
You should have fixed that after the last one.
It's Fordham. Yeah, you went to a small school. Obviously, I can't even pronounce it and don't even know where it is. He weighs 205, and he put up a respectable 19 in the bench press.
Yeah,
like, that's not bad. That's not great, but it's not bad.
He's a small guy, too. To put up 19, that's very solid.
Yeah. And at the 40, he ran a 4.55, which is right around average.
Yep.
That's where you expect guys to be at if you want to succeed in the NFL.
But what his bread and butter is his shiftiness. Now, get this. In his 3-cone, he did a 6.79, which is really good. The best of running backs, I believe.
Yes, it was. Yep, it was ranked number 1 out of all the running backs that did it. I don't think Saquon did it.
No, he did not.
So out of all the running backs that did it, that was the best. And he was then tied for the best on his 20-yard shuttle, which was a 4.07.
Very, very solid.
That was very good. He did that and matched the guy that you actually like out of Northwestern.
Justin Jackson.
Jackson. So what I'm saying is, if you're drafting low, look for him.
You could potentially get this guy in the 4th or 5th round of your rookie draft.
He's going to be way overlooked unless he gains a lot of steam.
Toss him on your taxi squad and reap the rewards in the future.
Exactly. The only downfall with this guy is you're not going to know what he's going to do in the NFL until he gets on the field. Because of playing at a small school like Fordham, you can't see his true potential because he plays such shitty talent.
Yep. So
I like him. I'm probably with the one that we're in with our tax squad. I'm thinking we're gonna have to take a shot on him. You would think he would have to have a role. He looks so good on his tape, granted talent, but then he went from that tape and showed it that he can still do it at the combine.
Yep.
So that's what you're looking for when you're looking for a guy like that.
And yeah, you were looking for that after watching his tape. That's what you needed to see at the combine. You saw it, so now you know he may be.
Because he looks shifty on his tape, but you have to realize, well, he's playing bad talent. But when he puts up numbers like that, he just proves that he's just shifty.
Mm-hmm.
All right, now we're going to talk a little bit about the biggest risers on the combine. On the combine, yes. English. Of the combine and why.
as you just mentioned before, my first guy is Justin Jackson. The guy stood out in every drill he did. 6.81 3-cone, 4.07 shuttle. Like, I think, what was this 40? A 4.52?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, it was
quick.
because people weren't expecting that. They were expecting a 4.6 or something, from what I've heard. But he really put it together, and I love his tape. Granted, he's a little smaller of a guy, only weighed in at 193 pounds at the combine. But I think they'll make him hit the weight room, give him a
It may take
nice
him
diet.
a year until he can fully expect a decent workload on the field. Obviously, his rookie year, he may get on the field a little bit on passing downs, but he definitely needs to bulk up.
With those numbers, I could see him being used in a return role almost, too.
Oh, definitely.
Granted, I'm not sure if he actually did it with Northwestern.
But they throw, if you want to make it in the NFL by any means
Special
possible, you
teams.
learn how to do that
Yeah, you play special
until you're
teams.
ready to go. His combine, yeah, it was good. It made him, like you said, one of the biggest risers. He turned a lot of heads at the combine.
Yeah, he put up a bunch of numbers people weren't expecting. All right, your number one?
My number one,
My
your
number
number two. Bo Scarborough. You can't really complain.
We hit on him a little bit already, but
Yep.
we'll add a little to it.
He excelled at almost every drill. There was only a few drills that he wasn't in the top 3-5
Yeah, something
of
like that.
the running backs. I love this combine. Like I said, there is some worries about how his game is going to transition, but there's no doubt in my mind that he was the biggest riser from the combine.
Yeah, that 40-inch vert, I was not expecting that.
No, I
4.5
wasn't either.
240, I thought he was going to be fast, but I didn't think he was going to be that
Thing
fast.
is on his tape, he doesn't really look that athletic. Like that athletic. He's athletic, but he doesn't look that athletic.
Yeah, exactly.
So it threw a lot of people off guard.
All right, do your number two
All right,
then.
my number two is going to be Kalen Balaj. Obviously, there's worries about his production, but he showed at the combine that he has all the physical tools to be successful.
Size, speed, freak.
Yep. So I think there's something going on at Arizona State where they weren't using him the right way. They had a kind of
Well, they
weird.
did fire their coach, so
That could have been it too, but they had a weird combination of running backs.
yeah. Demario Richard, the
Yeah.
slow plotter strength guy, and then you had Balaj
Kalen-
come in as the fast guy.
Which is weird because he's not small.
6'2", 230.
Yeah.
That's not a small guy.
But
To
he,
be
like you
your
said, he
quick
carries all that weight and he runs and he shows power, explosiveness. The only thing that worries about me is 15 at the bench. So, but
For being
you
the size of guy he is, he did not show a whole lot of tackle breaking ability.
no, but I don't know.
That's the one thing.
There's
my
a
one
lot
concern.
of, but there's a lot of running backs in the league that make careers off of getting what's blocked.
Yeah.
And being quick to the hole and maximizing what's blocked. There's a lot of guys that aren't quick to the hole and need what's blocked and they fizz out. So, but I think even if he needs to get what's blocked, you'll be able to carve out a decent role on an NFL team.
Yeah, I could see him. There's some people out there comparing him to David Johnson. I don't think he's going to be that level of
That's
player.
not even a comparison.
I think it's more the receiving skill set that they compare there. All right, we'll move on. My number 3, I talked about him already. Rock Thomas, just what I said before. He put it all out there. He showed what he can do, and I loved his tape.
Yep. I mean, there's no denying that. I like him too, but I would have to take my small school guy. We're lucky this year. You usually only get one small school guy a year. Now you have 2 that are really standing out.
Yep.
My small school guy obviously is Chase Edmonds. He surprised me, but sadly, hit what he did at the combine and how good he did brought him from undrafted just to drafted maybe in the 6th and 7th round.
Well, yeah, same with Rock Thomas. Same, same style.
But that is a huge jump for these guys because that brings it from unknown, maybe practice
squad player,
practice squad to
potential active roster.
Yeah,
guy.
you have a good chance of making that roster. Like they don't just draft people and waste draft picks for a reason. They draft you because they want you on the team.
It's still a long shot as a 7th rounder to make the team. But it's also a long shot for undrafted free agents.
There's a lot of good. There's a lot of good
year.
7th rounders that made the team and went into the Hall of Fame.
Yep. I'm actually going to add one more person.
That's fine.
Royce Freeman. He put together a nice combine. He's a 3-down back. He's just not spectacular in any area.
No, that, like you said, when I watched his tape, I saw a good running back, but nothing was really like, wow.
Yeah.
He didn't really jump, but he did everything good. Except for his vision.
Yeah, he's got elite vision. I will give him that. He can
that's one thing.
From anywhere on the field, the hole opening up, a small crease, he finds it.
That is one thing I marked down on my notes, and I put like 3 lines under it. It was his vision was
circle,
good.
star, all that shit.
And people, running backs with good vision, can carve out
a role.
A role. You look at Jonathan Stewart, who was a serviceable running back all year, and what he was known for coming out wasn't because of his elite speed or his elite strength.
It's funny because they went to the same school too.
Was because of his vision. And well, did you hear what Jonathan Stewart had to do when he was in college? They put laser pointers, like they had a machine and they would shoot laser pointers at his eyes, and you'd have to look there. Like on the outskirts of his eyes. That's how they gained his vision, and that's how they got to good. I can compare his vision to Royce Freeman.
Huh.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. You did a show on little
like
show on
sports science thing?
Yeah, a little blip on it.
All right, I think we should take a little break, replenish these refreshments, and I'm going to hit
and
the fucking
save
button so we lose all of it again. All right, we'll see you guys in a few. All right, welcome back, guys. What, BJ got something to say?
No.
What is it? Nothing. Idiots.
You're the idiot.
Sorb. These fuckers. It's getting late. Yeah, and lots of beer. So we're all filled back up, and we should be good to go. Again, you guys ready over there? Got your beers?
Yep.
Oh, Mitch is ready, so BJ.
I always got one.
He's probably jerking off still to all that hard man talk. Woo!
Fuck off.
All right, let's get back to the combine. What do you guys... Shit, where are we?
Biggest fallers.
I literally just said that.
Oh my god. Should have had a V8.
I'll edit that part.
Should have had a V8.
Biggest followers of the combine and why? Jesus Christ.
Justin Crawford out of West Virginia. I was never high on him after watching his tape. A lot of analysts and shit are. I'm not one of them. I didn't see anything great out of him. He's a pass catching back, and he just didn't perform as well as everyone said he would at the combine.
It's a huge disappointment.
Yeah, and, I mean, you're in the same boat as me. You didn't think he
No,
didn't like
actually,
his film that much.
When we watched his tape, because we watched it right around the same time, we both said that he didn't look like anything special. And it's not like a Royce Freeman where he did everything good. He just
was okay.
Yeah, he just was okay. He never had good runs. You didn't see good vision. He got what was blocked, and frankly, he played bad teams and got a lot out of it.
I mean, he can catch the ball. That's about it.
Yeah, not anything special. My biggest disappointments by far in this was Daryl Williams and Cameron Petaway. Did I say that right?
Yeah, I think
so.
I
said that right. Out of LSU, Daryl Williams and Petaway out of Auburn. These guys were guys that were carving out a good career in college. Last year, they got hurt and were out for majority of the season. So they really needed to turn heads at this combine to prove that they were fully healthy.
And they just
they didn't. They had, frankly, awful combines for what they should do.
4.7 40s.
Yeah, both of them. It's not even like there was a difference. They were spot on.
Yeah, they're bad.
The only thing that they did good was their bench press, which they put up like 22.
Huh, that's not too bad.
But
that's because that's what they are. They're slow plodding, lower the shoulder backs, and that's about it.
And that's not what you can really carve a name out for yourself. I mean, you can be like a Mike Tolbert, but that's about all you're gonna be.
Yeah, limited opportunities.
Even at that, like Petaway didn't even do any of his agility drills. Which, if you're trying to prove something, again, I think you have to do all the drills. And when Daryl Williams went through, he was below average.
Yeah.
So really disappointing. A lot of people are high on him because of what they did in college. Even like with Daryl Williams, even behind Darius Geis and Leonard Fournette, he still carved out a role. So everybody was waiting for him to kind of like bust out on the scene, and
everyone was all hyped on him after the Senior Bowl. He had a nice little Senior Bowl. But I don't know. I didn't see what
Yeah, I didn't
everyone was
see, I didn't
raving
see
about.
it whatsoever.
All right. I'm going to put my 2 and 3 together because they kind of perform similarly. Mark Walton out of Miami and Akram Wadley out of Iowa. They just didn't put the numbers up that I thought they were going to. They're a little slower than I thought. Not quite as shifty as I thought. They're pass catchers, so I mean they could still carve out a role somewhere. And they're both just smaller guys on top of it. Especially Wadley. He's a twig.
I mean, I see that with Wadley. It definitely hurts his value more so than Mark Walton. But with Mark Walton, you can't give up on the guy. Every time you watch his tape, he stuck out. He did something, and he really popped off of the tape. That's what you look for.
On top of it, Walton wasn't even cleared until a couple weeks before the combine.
So he didn't have a lot of time to get ready for his 40, which was the real low point.
Yeah, 4.64.
You for what he does, you need faster, and I think you will get faster by the time his pro day comes. I'm actually surprised since he got cleared that he did the 40, which hell, I respect him more.
Yeah,
for going out and just doing all the drills. Or a lot of the drills, and even though you weren't fully ready, you just got to show what you got, and that's what he tried to do, and it may have hurt him a little bit, but if he falls in your dynasty
guess what
draft,
that means? You get to snag him a
you get to
little
snag
later.
him, and he's going to be a steal. You will not regret picking him up. Yeah, I had Mark Walton on my list, but the next guy on my list really pisses me off, and that's Josh Adams out of Notre Dame.
Yeah, that fucking loser.
The guy
was to waste a spot at the combine for someone else who would have actually shown up and done the drills.
For a guy that was a Heisman finalist or in the running for the Heisman, he did absolutely nothing. He showed up, he weighed the fuck in, got all measured up, and did the bench press.
And then he went home or went and got drunk. So.
Yeah, he went out to the clubs in Indy. What are you doing?
Pat McAfee.
Exactly. What are you doing? There's guys out there that can have a role in the NFL that weren't invited to the combine, like Martez Carter from Grambling
and Philip Lindsay out of Colorado.
Yeah, those two guys are prime examples. They did really well in college, but because they went to a smaller school, weren't invited to the combine. And yet they invite you because you're a Heisman hopeful. You're a Heisman hopeful, and you decide you're just going to get measured and fucking do the bench press. Why are you hurting everybody else? I just don't get it.
Yeah, he's not.
So, yeah, it may be petty to put him on this list. He was being hyped up because of his body size, but
well, you are petty as fuck. Usually,
after he did all that, I think that kind of put all his hype to bed.
Yeah, he's really going to have to show out at his pro day after.
I just don't think he'll do it. I think he's below average player, and he just had good blocking or something. There's a reason why he didn't do the drills.
They did have two of the top offensive linemen in the nation.
I mean, there's a reason why he didn't do any of the drills. He is hiding something, and it's going to be exposed eventually.
Yeah, we'll find out soon.
All right, so now we can talk about guys that probably did pretty shitty at the combine, but still you should probably watch out for them.
All right, at first me and BJ agreed on this, but then I switched mine because I didn't want to have more of the same shit. I'm going to go with John Kelly. The guy didn't run the 40, so that's kind of disappointing to see. Especially when he wasn't expected to be super fast or anything. I mean, go out there and run your 4.6. Like, it's not going to be a knock on you when everyone knows that's already what it is. That's not your strength. Your strength is lowering the fucking shoulder and dropping people with a stiff arm.
Yeah.
And catching the ball.
Yeah, he's known for running people over and not being scared to go give a hit. What I think really hurt his combine was his agility drills.
Well, I mean, his 3-cone wasn't terrible, but his 20-yard shuttle was what hurt him.
But I think the reason why he did as bad as he did, or not even bad, but what he did on his agility drills, because that's not him. He has some moves.
Yeah, and
he can make people miss.
He didn't warm up.
You didn't warm up. You needed, if you're going to do that, you need to do the 40
Open it up.
not do any of them, which sucks because we just got on Josh Adams about that. But you can't. If you're going to do agility, you kind of have to do 40 so you can get warmed up. Otherwise, you're going to kind of suffer like he did. I still like him, though.
Another really nice thing about him at the combine, he came in at 5'10 and a half, 216 pounds. Ideal prototypical size for a running back in the NFL.
Yep. No, he's definitely, I agree with that. He's definitely a guy that you need to keep your eye on. But I'm going to stick with my guy. Again, you won't regret it. Mark Walton. The guy, the tape, it's just like John Kelly, he bounces off of it. He catches your eye. The numbers are what it is, but there's a lot of really good running backs like Le'Veon Bell or Terrell Davis that went to the combine and sucked ass. But yet, in the Hall of Fame, one may go on, probably going to go in the Hall of Fame, to be honest. Watch the tape. He bounces off of it. Give the guy a chance. I guarantee you won't regret it. I'm not guaranteeing you'll be a Hall of Famer, but you will be a decent running back.
If you don't want to take our word for it, go watch the fucking tape.
Yep, take the time.
It shows it itself for both the guys, John Kelly, Mark Walton.
Yep, they make so many plays. You guys will enjoy doing it too. Like I was watching tape on running backs, and I was like, I'm gonna watch 2 games. I got to Mark Walton, and I watched like 4.
Yeah, I ended up watching about 6 or 7 John Kelly's games.
Oh, same. Like they're
just fun guys to watch.
Yeah, they're entertaining to watch. It's well worth your time.
All right, so how about running backs you guys are excited about? I'm excited about not named Saquon Barkley.
I think Nick had a few too many beers.
Yeah, you can tell this is the second run.
Yeah, I'm getting there too.
All right, I'm going to hit on the same guy I just hit on, John Kelly. Just watching him, his power and his receiving ability, he actually went and ran wide receiver routes after the running back drills were over, which was awesome to see. And if you, like I said, watch the tape,
bounces off.
Yeah, think of this when you're watching it. Devontae Freeman. You'll almost see the guy.
Oh, totally, but I think he's a better pass catcher than Devontae Freeman too, which is...
I don't think Devontae Freeman's a bad pass catcher either.
No, I don't either.
I think John Kelly is one of the better pass catchers in this draft.
Yeah. I mean, that's almost a perfect comp for him. He runs just like him. Every time, he's not going to run out of bounds.
He's got that little
He's going to
twitch.
lower that fucking shoulder.
He lowers his shoulder. He'll fucking put his fucking palm right in your face mask and push you to the fucking turf and tell you to get the fuck out of the way. And then he's not scared to tell you about it after he's done running all over you.
Oh, fuck yeah. I love the guy. I mean, you can take the off-field issues as it is, but the guy has attitude, and that's what you want on the field.
Especially as a running back. You want that kind of guy.
Yep. My guy that stuck out and surprised me the most and did the best other than Saquon, he's not like your prototypical sleeper, but a lot of guys are sleeping on him even though he's up there in the rankings. Yeah. And that is Nick Chubb. I hit it on before.
Respect on his name.
I hit on it before. If it wasn't for his injury, we would be talking about 1A, 1B. And I'll stick to that. I moved him up to my 3 spot right behind Geis. Obviously, because everybody's still thinking about the injury. I am too. A long-term value. Got to think about that, especially in Dynasty. But I told the guy on Twitter, we were talking about him. If he went into the combine, his knee checked out, he did good on his agility drills, my 1-3 easily. And I'm sticking to that. He did all that.
Depending on landing spot, he could be 1-2 as well.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think
And I'm waiting for draft pedigree. Where he gets drafted is also a big part of that.
Yeah, he is a great story. I cannot... His determination to come back from his injury, a lot of people would have quit with the injury like that. I think he's going to go in the NFL and prove all the doubters wrong. Every
day that passes that he's farther away from that injury, the better he becomes.
Exactly. I want him to exceed so much because I think it was that same year we saw Lattimore go down with that injury, and he couldn't come back from it. And he was a good running back. It could have been. It was relatively soonish.
Yeah.
But he couldn't come back. He got winning in the NFL, and it just hurt too much. This guy's proven that he has a determination, and his injury wasn't as serious to make an impact.
And like you said before, his knee checked out medically.
Yep. That's
which
huge.
Is huge.
That is huge. I can't wait for him to get to the NFL.
I want to see it. All right. I'm going to go with the guy who a lot of people were very high on, and then he ended up pulling his hamstring while running the 40 and still ran a 4.65 40.
That was
And that's
impressive.
Ronald Jones out of USC.
Yes,
The
don't
guy's a
sleep on
home
him.
run hitter. He can score from anywhere on the field if he gets the right crease, because not a lot of people are going to be able to catch him.
Exactly. Don't sleep on that guy. People get hurt in the combine every year. I mean, yes, it does a little damage to your value, but let's not jump the gun here and drop him behind multiple running backs. If you want to put Penny ahead of him, fine.
Yeah,
I did it.
one
I did it
spot.
myself. I still kept him in my second tier, but the guy's a talent. He's fast. He's elusive. He can score anywhere from the field. We saw what people like that can do. You think about CJ2K in his prime.
Oh, exactly.
I mean,
You're going to get a bunch of 2-3 yard runs, but eventually he's going to break a 60-yarder for a touchdown.
yeah,
He's going to break a
exactly.
40-yarder, set you up for a game-winning field goal or something like that.
exactly.
That's
That's
going to
what
put you in position to win.
that's what he brings to the table. Not saying he will go out and be CJ2K, but he definitely has the ability to go out and do that, especially when you tweak your hammy twice in one run and still run a 4.66.
Yeah.
That is impressive.
Though his one knock at the combine was he has small hands. He's not going to be able to catch the ball. I don't think that fucking matters whatsoever.
Culpepper had small hands. He still carved out a decent career.
Yeah.
So,
All right. Chubb was my 3, so you can go on to your number 2.
all right, 2. My guy. Oh, your guy, and I like him too. Kalen Ballage out of Arizona State.
ASU, baby.
His college production isn't there, but
Other than the 1 8-touchdown game.
he has a unique skill set. He's big, he's fast, and even though he's big and he's fast and he may run out of bounds, there is times where he's not scared to lay the wood on you.
Well, yeah, and I mean, he showed in that 8-touchdown game that he can score from the 1, from the 2. He can lower his shoulder and punch it in there.
And I think with that skill set, being big, fast, elusive at times, laying the wood at times,
Being able to catch the
His
ball
game-
very well.
his game can translate very easily to the NFL. So with all these guys hyping him up, I don't blame him, but I'm kind of being realistic because of his in my rankings, I'm being realistic because of his college production. So I do have him ranked very high, and based on his
So
pro
do
day,
I,
he could
just
move
because
up.
of the ability that
Yeah.
that's there, the potential.
And then what happens on his pro day, he could easily move up. But I'm being more realistic than some of these people that are talking nonsense.
Yeah, the David Johnson comparers.
Yes.
All right, your last guy.
My last guy, again, my guy, you'll hear his name a lot.
Every segment we just brought him up so far.
Chase Edmonds.
Think he's got
Man,
a little chub in his pants for him.
Look at him.
Yeah,
Look at the
him.
stats. Look at the stats that he put up.
I know where BJ was looking during the Underwear
Uh-oh.
Olympics.
You
Fuck
see that
you guys.
definition in the crotch region?
The
Fuck you
ass, the
guys.
crotch. He's staring at
There
all.
is
Nice.
no knocking what he did at the combine though.
No, I agree completely.
He surprised everybody. It's not just me. He surprised you and Nick if you would have watched it.
Well, Nick doesn't know anything about football.
I
But-
don't get off on guys running around
He-
in underwear.
Why are you
He-
picking the mic up? Leave it down.
He went in and he, for a small school guy, went in and tore the combine apart. So
I have no knocks on him other than where he played.
again, yeah, his talent that he played is a knock, but he proved what you saw on tape that he can do because of his numbers and his showing.
He's
at the
getting a
combine.
lot of James White comparisons.
That's not a bad comp.
No, I mean, imagine
still-
if
he's-
Chase Edmonds got drafted to the Patriots.
Well, I think it would be by James White.
I think no, because what they do is they do to Edmonds during the regular season, then James White would just bust it out in the playoffs.
I could see that. I could see that.
So-
Yeah, but I still, a lot of people are gonna say this is a fluke. Wait until his pro day. I'm fairly confident because watching his tape and watching what he did in the combine, he's gonna put up the same numbers.
Yeah,
So
I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't do a
I am-
couple of the drills at his pro day just because of how well he performed
Yeah.
at the combine.
for a guy that didn't even rank going into the combine, I am very, very high on this man right here. I think he'll surprise a lot of people in the following years, especially if you are lucky enough to have a taxi squad and you put him on it.
I got nothing else to say. Yeah. Let's take a little break and pull up our top 25 rankings.
Holy shit,
Sounds
we're back
good.
to where everyone had crashed.
Thanks,
Almost.
guys, for tuning in. Why don't you go and like our pages? We got it over on
We got a
SoundCloud.
Facebook page, a SoundCloud page, a YouTube page.
And you just search what is it under?
NSFW Dynasty Fantasy Football or NSFW DFF.
Yeah, those
Yeah,
are the
they'll pop
YouTube.
up.
And you guys got Twitter if you want to put your Twitter out there.
I'm at NSFW_DFF Mitch.
And I am at NSFW_DFFBJ.
And you can
Alright.
also follow our main account, Keith, who runs our social media, at NSFW_DFF.
Yes.
And if you guys like it, go ahead and subscribe to our stuff, like it up. Thanks
You
for
hit that like button, bitch.
We'll be back. All right, welcome back. We're going to talk a little bit about top 25 running backs.
Rookie
Out of
running
the-
backs, yeah.
In our eyes.
What, is it out of the combine? Yeah.
Yeah, rookie.
Oh, yeah, top 25 rookie running backs.
Jesus.
We'll do a quick run through on these. These guys have like tiers set up for them, so.
Yeah, we got 5 tiers. There's one guy in the first tier, all by his lonesome.
Yep.
He's all by himself.
Well, that's because he's the golden child.
That's because he's a fucking animal.
Yep. And it's Saquon Barkley.
Yeah,
If anybody wants to argue that he shouldn't be the number one,
just quit.
yep, stop playing
Drink
fantasy
yourself
football.
into a coma.
This guy is the clear-cut number one running back coming out of this class.
Best running back
Um,
anyone's seen in
A while.
a long time.
I'd
I'd say probably since Bo Jackson, honestly.
Jesus Christ, you're going back.
Yep. Long time.
I wouldn't
Generation.
go that
Jackson.
far. I wouldn't go that far back.
That's
But
a reference.
Why?
for
Who?
you,
AP?
Stone
This
Age.
guy's game is more complete than AP's.
eh,
He can catch the ball.
we'll see what he does in the pros.
Yeah.
I like him though. There's
Obviously you
yeah.
like him.
Don't get me wrong.
Does he play baseball too?
He might. Who knows?
you never know.
I think he's an Olympic swimmer too.
So that's our tier one. In my tier two, I have Darius Geis, Nick Chubb, Sony Michel, Rashad Penny, and Ronald Jones.
Yeah, I have the exact same order. Anyone stick out to you there? A guy you want to hit on that we haven't hit on?
Yeah, I mean, we have showed no love to this guy, which I don't know why. But Darius Geis, he's at number 2 in my rankings for a reason, and that's because he's an all-around complete good back, could have an all-pro season, all-pro career, perennial in the NFL. He's kind of shadowed because of the Saquon hype, which is well-deserved. He has a fantastic resume, obviously blew away the combine.
And now he's got Chubb on his heels too, so he's getting no love for real.
Yeah, well, like I said with Chubb should be 1A, 1B with him. But of the injury, that's why Darius Geis has the next ranking over Chubb.
All right, the guy I want to hit on is Sony Michel, another guy.
Another
that
guy
we
no
didn't
love.
talk about at all. I mean, he didn't wow anyone at the combine, but I don't think anyone expected him to put up huge numbers. He had a combine that I expected from him.
Yeah, he had a respectable combine. Like you said, he didn't turn a lot of heads like, oh, wow, what the fuck is this guy doing? You know, who does he think he is?
For him,
Playing
it's
around with
more
the big
about
dogs.
his tape than it is anything else. And
Yes.
The fact that he's an all-around back and
He has
can do it all.
He has one of the best tapes out there. And playing behind a guy like Nick Chubb too, and that says a lot.
Yep. All right, let's move on to tier 3 now. My tier 3 goes John Kelly out of Tennessee, Kerryon Johnson out of Auburn, Royce Freeman out of Oregon, Kalen Ballage, Arizona State, and Bo Scarborough out of Alabama.
All right, again, pretty much the same.
Same people, different order.
I started out with Kerryon Johnson, then I went to John Kelly, then I went to Kalen Ballage, and then I went to Bo Scarborough, and then I went to Royce Freeman. The reason why I have Kerryon Johnson first is because he's explosive.
40-inch vert, 4.49,
Yeah.
40. Granted, that's at his pro day, so it's probably closer to a 4.55.
And he played in a run-heavy scheme and excelled at every facet. And what his best game last year was against the Alabama defense.
The one thing that I that kind of scares me is he did a lot of his runs out of the Wildcat. He has a little more.
I saw that, yeah.
It helps with the vision a little more that way, I think.
But, I mean, that is true. But in the game against Alabama, they didn't do a lot of that because Alabama's too smart to fall for that trickery.
Mm-hmm.
But him having his best game of the season against Alabama really proved a lot because we all know that's an NFL defense. They shit out a bunch of first round defensive prospects
There's
every year.
So many Bama defensive players in the NFL right now. It's kind of
so
ridiculous.
the fact that he excelled against that defense already proves to me that he has the ability to excel in the NFL.
Yeah, I have no complaints with him there. I would talk about John Kelly some more, but I've already talked about him a fuck ton. So let's just move on to the next tier. Tier 4.
All right, and tier 4, my first guy is Nyheim Hines. My second guy is Mark Walton. And then I got Rock Thomas, Akram Wadley, Akram Wadley, Kyle Hicks, Josh Adams, Justin Jackson. I have my guy, Chase Edmonds, Chris Warren III, and Martez Carter.
Yeah, I have a lot of the same guys there. My first guy in this tier, Nyheim Hines out of NC State. Second guy, Justin Jackson out of Northwestern. I hit on him a little bit earlier. Mark Walton out of Miami. We talked about him. Rock Thomas out of Jacksonville State at 15. Akram Wadley out of Iowa at 16. Chris Warren III out of Texas at 17. Kyle Hicks out of TCU is 18. Number 19, Josh Adams, Notre Dame. Turd Ferguson.
Fuck that guy.
Number 20, Martez Carter out of Grambling State. 21, Ralph Webb out of Vanderbilt. And number 22, Ito Smith out of Southern Miss. Those last three guys all got snubbed
So you had
from the combine because of Josh Adams.
You had 22 in your third tier?
Yeah, up to 22.
I had 21, so not a big deal.
Yeah, I had one extra guy. Any guy you want to hit on out of there?
Yeah, if you guys want to know why I highly dislike Josh Adams, it's because my second guy, other than Edmonds,
Who you would
Martez
talk
Carter.
about.
Yeah, I would talk about him, but I was told I couldn't because I talked about him about every section of this podcast.
You guys are welcome.
My other guy coming out of Grambling State, Martez Carter, was left out of the combine for him.
Oh, I love this guy.
This guy,
He's so explosive.
he's gonna have a role in the NFL as a receiving back. This guy
And a
reminds
returner.
Yeah, he's quick. He is great at catching the ball. Some of this,
Explosive.
yeah. I mean, this guy is nuts, and yet he wasn't allowed at the combine because Josh Adams wanted to go and bench press.
And do
Shit,
fucking nothing.
go to the YMCA and bench press on your free time. Don't waste my time on that shit. Fuck.
All right, a guy I'm going to talk about is Kyle Hicks out of TCU. I mean, this guy didn't put up great numbers at the combine, but if you just watch the tape, he's an elite pass catcher in college. He had, I don't remember the exact number. I want to say it was over 80 catches the last 2 seasons. Maybe it was over 90. But if you just watch his tape, you can see what he does. And my boy LT, LaDainian Tomlinson, was raving over him during the combine as well.
Yeah, I like Kyle Hicks. The combine worries me. Obviously, he didn't worry me too much. I still have him at 16.
Yeah,
but,
you have him higher than I do, actually.
I mean, his tape speaks for itself, pretty much.
Yeah,
he
great.
killed it. He didn't play bad competition. It wasn't the greatest, but it wasn't the worst. And he did really well. So definitely a guy to keep an eye on. Again, another guy just like Mark Walton, going to fall in the draft, may help a lot of people out that have the balls to
If he
scoop
can
them
carve
out.
that role, yeah.
So, but my guy in this, other than Chase Edmonds, is Martez Carter. I love him.
Said that already.
I know.
Okay.
And your guy is Kyle Hicks.
Yeah. I also do want to bring up Ralph Webb. Just a little bit. The guy doesn't do anything spectacular, but I mean, he looks like an overall solid running back. And he played in a Power 5 conference and played well.
I did like the tape, and that was another guy that wasn't invited to the combine.
Yeah, the only thing I didn't like about him is he did not have long speed. He got caught from behind a lot.
But he stuck out a lot in his tape. Didn't play on the best team with Vandy, so I like him too. He was in my next tier just because he wasn't invited to the combine and couldn't show what he could do. So,
all right, last tier. There's a lot of guys in this one, so we're just gonna pick our top couple to get us to 25.
Yeah.
I got at 23 Chase Edmonds, who BJ's talked about a fuck ton.
Should be up one more. Get him in that next
24 Philip Lindsay out of Colorado, another combine snub. And he just had his pro day the other day, and it looked great.
It looked really good.
And then my last guy, the only white guy on this whole list, Ryan Null.
Yeah.
Out of Oregon State. And, I mean, the dude's huge. He's a big boy, and he
real big.
Proved to be able to do everything in that Oregon State
He doesn't
offense.
Really affect his speed either, so...
The guy is
decently fast.
Yeah, I think he ran a 4.6.
For his size, he's pretty quick.
Yeah.
My guys up to 25, 22, I have Edo Smith. 23, I have Ryan Null. 24 is Philip Lindsay. 25, I have Ralph Webb because he wasn't at the combine pretty much.
Oh, you didn't sneak Jeff Wilson in there?
He is at 26.
He's another guy who showed up to the combine and didn't do anything.
Yeah, no, he's a bum. That's why he's down there.
I do like him, though, so that's why I added him in there.
All right. You can go. Go ahead.
Okay, I talked about my guy already.
Yeah, okay. Well, my guy in this tier, or half of a tier that I really like is Edo Smith. He's another... When I get down here, I kind of lean towards the receiving backs because it's easier for them to carve out a niche in the NFL. So if I'm drafting and it's, let's say... It's the 5th round of my rookie draft, and I kept my defense and my kicker. I'm not even worrying about them. And I have taxi squad. I'm picking up Edo Smith because he is a receiving back, and it's easy for him to carve out a niche on a team.
Another one of those quick twitch guys too. He's got some moves.
I mean, his tape was good. It wasn't great. Obviously, he kind of fell on his face on the Senior Bowl, but. He's a good player. He proved it with his time in college. He just needs to get on a team and get a couple passes thrown his way.
Yeah, that's why I have him in the tier above, actually.
Yep.
All right. So give me one guy that you think can jump from his current tier into the next tier above, and tell me what tier he's in now and what tier he's going into.
All right. This is easy for me. My guy is going to be Mark Walton. He's in my 4th tier right now. He's my 13th best running back. Like I said, I moved him down because of his bad combine. Depending on his pro day, I think if he goes out and puts on it doesn't even need to be great, a decent show, he'll have enough to bump up into that next tier.
Yeah, I mean, if you didn't already pick him, I was probably going to pick him.
That was the easy one. I know, but it's... The guy is good. He should be in the 3rd tier, at least.
I was going to be ballsy here and move John Kelly up to my 2nd tier, but I don't know if I can do that without seeing his pro day numbers. I'm going to go Rock Thomas goes from the 4th tier into the 3rd tier. I just think from what I've seen out of the kid, I feel like he can make that jump over 3 guys on my list.
He's going to really have to perform and land in the right
Yeah, that's
spot.
That's what it's going to come down to, is where he lands. He's going to have that clear-cut role.
Yeah. I mean, I could see it, but it's going to be tough for him. But I condolences for having a set of balls.
Well, I think it would have been way more ballsy to move John Kelly up into my 2nd tier.
Nah, I don't know. We've seen it from John Kelly. He played at a big college. Rock Thomas didn't. So I actually like that pick more than John Kelly.
I do love me some John Kelly, though.
So
I love me some Rock Thomas too. All right, shall we play a game?
Well, goddamn time we got to the game, Nick.
Jesus, fuck, that was the most boring round ever. Yeah, we're gonna do our rip-off of Shark Tank with a little bit of running back. So these guys are gonna try to convince me who knows shit about football, at least as far as the players are concerned.
So
Nick
will be investing.
Yeah, I'll be the investor.
And we're going to be the entrepreneurs selling.
So let's see how they do. Probably terrible, but we'll find out.
All right. I only have one guy for this category. And I'm going with John fucking Kelly. Because I've been talking about him all day already. Let's just talk about him some more.
Jesus.
I'm going to try to sell him to you.
All right.
To draft him at the end of the first round in a rookie draft.
A first rounder.
Like I hit on before, he's 5'10".
So wait, what tier did you have this guy in?
He's a top guy in my third tier.
So he's a third tier, but you want
That's
to
why I said
draft him in first round.
Yeah, but he's the 7th guy. 7 running backs will easily go in the first round. Like I said, he is 5'10", 216 pounds. Ideal size for a running back.
Okay.
If you just watch the tape and see how physical he is, they don't have a combine event that measures how great his stiff arm is. Like, if they could figure that out, that would
You
be
should
great.
get that NFL.
Just have a stiff arm event.
Just
A dummy.
thrust. He's right around the 7-second mark that you're looking for in the 3-cone drill. He got a 7.13, so it's a little slower. But he showed some serious explosion with a 35-inch vertical and a 120-inch broad jump.
Okay. All these numbers are nice, but what about actual football field play?
I'm getting there.
All right.
I want to see what his 40 looks like on his pro day, March 19th. It's coming up. Keep an eye out. He ran wide receiver routes
Okay.
after the running back portion of the combine, and he shows his versatility with 37 receptions this past season out of the backfield. And I think he even split out into the slot a couple different times.
All right. So let's say I brought him onto my team, or we invested in this guy. What plus is he gonna? Okay, so let's just assume I'm the GM of the Packers. What plus is he gonna bring to our team?
You're going to have a running back that can play all 3 downs,
Okay.
Physicality.
run between the tackles, be physical by lowering his shoulder and getting those extra 2 yards, not running out of bounds on the sideline by plowing into his safety or a corner,
All right.
knocking his bitch ass over, and running the rest of the way to the end zone, scoring you some points.
Can I help you
Alright.
out here?
Yeah.
He's going to be the guy that wears down the defense because they're sick of getting hit by him.
Wait,
Yeah,
is
that's
the
what
other
it's gonna be.
contestant trying to help out the other guy?
Oh
I
yeah,
am.
I'll have some info for
Oh.
him too. You can buy both.
That's
you can
weird.
you can get your stake of each guy that we
Yeah.
bring up.
Buy on both. Have
All
a
right,
dynasty.
so obviously, Green Bay's a pretty pass-happy offense. Aaron Rodgers and all, and we've been pretty notable for having multiple backs just to split the workload because, well, we had Cheeseburger Eddie Lacy for a while, and he couldn't handle a full set of downs.
I honestly think replacing Jamal Williams with John Kelly in the Packers offense and having the Aaron Jones, John
I do
Kelly
like Aaron Jones.
1-2 punch, that's like having bread and butter,
But, man,
having your
that-
cake and eating it too. You get it all with those
Okay,
guys.
well, but can you guarantee me this guy won't be telling cops he's been smoking weed earlier in the day so he gets a suspension?
Actually, I cannot because he did smoke a little Doja.
Well, that's fine. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, but unfortunately, the NFL doesn't think the same thing. So,
We'll see in a couple.
all
years.
right.
But yeah, that's where I stand on that, and
All right. And what are you looking for? Because you always have to have something you're looking for in Shark Tank. Like what?
I'm looking for you to spend your late first rounder on him
Okay.
to get a 100% share in John Kelly.
All right. Let's see the next guy. BJ, who do you got? What do you got here for
I'm
me?
going back to my boy Chase Edmonds.
Did you remember?
I'm a little buzzed right now. Give me a break here, all right? And I'm looking at selling him to you as the best dart throw running back in this year's draft.
All right.
class.
Just like I asked Mitch, what tier do you have this guy at?
I have
fourth.
I have him in my 4th year, but like I said, he is a dart throw. He's not a home run hit like
Alright.
what you would take in the first round.
Yeah, this guy's not going to be your 3-down back. He's going to be a guy that you can plug in on a...
So he's a good
When
rotation
Todd-
back.
Yeah, when
Yes.
Todd Gurley has a bye week, you could...
Okay, so
Yeah,
kind of
push
like
him in
what
there.
our offense is already set up for.
So just in the combine alone, he finished 12th in the 40 with a 4.55, which is right around average statistically for the combine.
If you think about it, Alvin Kamara ran a 4.56.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
He finished 8th overall in the bench press with 19 reps, which there was a couple running backs that put up in the 20s. You don't see that a lot.
Well,
like
and with his
mid-20s.
size, 19 is very
Yep.
impressive.
So I like his bench press. And he finished first overall out of all the running backs that did it in the 3 and cone drill with a 6.79.
All right.
He backed that up with, and he tied for first in the 20-yard shuttle with a 4.07.
Nice. Yeah, that's a good cone speed, actually. That's good agility.
He finished the combine.
That's elite.
Yeah.
For
He
a
finished.
running back.
He finished the combine with the 5th best spark score. So it's like your best athlete.
What the hell is
all of them.
Spark?
It's like your best athlete.
Okay.
Like overall athleticism.
All right.
So he went out of that with all the running backs that were eligible to have a spark score.
Means you have to have your agility
Yeah.
drills, your 40.
So ideally, I mean, this guy's not, like you said, he's not a all down back,
He's not a guaranteed
definitely rotation.
anything. He's a rotational player.
which is good because I like Aaron Jones a lot, and I think he's got some tremendous upside as long as he can stay out of the fucking trouble for a while. But I really do. If Aaron Jones can stay healthy, stay out of trouble, I think he's got a lot of upside for us. And then I don't think he could be honestly a full down back either, or all downs. So somebody like a Chase Edmonds would be a good fit to have as a rotation.
And that's what he's going to excel at, is going in and filling in for a guy that's either tired or hurt, and that's what is going to be his niche.
All right. And so, what do you propose? When would you want me to pick this guy? What round?
Out of a 5-round rookie draft, you want to say?
Well, yeah, I guess 4 or 5.
Because
That's
if
usually what it
it's a startup, he's probably going undrafted.
Yes.
So in a 5-round rookie draft, I would look probably a late 3rd, early 4th.
That's exactly what I was
That's a
thinking.
good spot. I like those numbers.
That's where I would be looking to draft him, and that's where I think everybody else should.
All right. So, all points considered.
I'd buy at that.
John Kelly, it sounds like a good back. He can do all downs. You don't have to worry about rotating. But he's pretty high on the end of the first round there.
He likes the ganja.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah, so
that's
does Aaron
but
Jones.
So does Aaron Jones.
They'll be-
But honestly, I think in the Packers offense, I think a rotational guy would fit better. And you're only wasting a late 3rd, early 4th.
well, it's not the Packers.
No, I know,
It'd be
but I'm the
big,
Packers GM right now. Damn it!
Oh, he's trying to get in the
Ron Wolf.
mindset.
No, wait, Ron Wolf is not the Packers GM, but
Gutekunst is.
Gudikins.
But this is my argument for your
All right.
scenario. Is I don't think Edmonds would fit what the Packers would need as much.
So what kind of? Okay,
You
I guess I
fit.
should ask that question.
But I think John Kelly, because
If
Aaron
you're gonna-
Jones he's more similar to Edmonds.
Yeah,
All
he's
right,
the
all right,
cutty-
but let's say we move Ty Montgomery back to wide receiver.
Yeah.
All right. So you have Jamal Williams and Aaron Jones.
Lots of all you can do with Ty Montgomery. It's fucking lost cause at running back.
Well, yeah,
Yeah, he's
but
gonna be a
there's
slot receiver.
there's not saying that you can't have 2 elusive backs like Aaron Jones and Chase Edmonds on the same team.
Well,
I know
but
where
you
you're
can't,
coming from, but I'm coming from
Because Jamal Williams is going to be your bruiser, kind of like, because if
Kelly.
you're going
That's
off
what I'm saying.
if we're
Kelly
going off
would
his
replace
argument,
Jamal
then
Williams.
Yeah, that's what I was going with. I don't want, if I'm going to pick up a rotational guy, I don't want Jamal Williams there anymore. He's going to we'll trade him off or whatever we got to do. So if that's the two agility backs, necessarily if you want rotation, I think you want more of a 3rd down power back.
I'm looking
one
at
agility
looking
back.
at having the Thunder and the Lightning. That's why I'm saying pair Kelly with whatever.
So
other
I think with
running
all
back
that
you have
being
in the
said, I
league.
was liking Chase Edmonds, but I think if you get John Kelly's more of a power back,
The
Hang
guy,
on.
I think
guy
I
is
would bring John
vicious.
Kelly in because I think if you're going to
Where are
use
you
him in the
looking at?
rotational role, that's just the best. 2 agility backs you wouldn't use in a rotational role. I think you'd want to do that power back at the end.
I mean,
I think I'm gonna have to go with you, Mitch. We'll sign on John Kelly.
but
ding
hey,
ding ding ding.
all I'm saying is you're spending a 1st-round pick that you could spend on wide receiver, tight end,
If you're
quarterback.
drafting in the late first,
Late
you got a
first,
good
yeah.
team.
Hey, you
This
you
is
could,
just an extra piece
Yeah.
to have.
you could have Chase Edmonds in the 3rd.
What's stopping you from also
Okay, and
drafting
here's
Chase Edmonds?
I think
in the
another
3rd?
upside with John Kelly is he's obviously a better back, and he can do full down. So let's say that Aaron Jones or whoever your main back does get hurt. This guy can step in.
He can plug and play and play the whole game.
I just think that Chase Edmonds is going to sell out that is plug and play the whole game. He's not going to be your every down back every game, but I think he could do it in short spurts when someone's hurt.
He's
gonna be like Jerick McKinnon.
Well, we're gonna have to wrap this up. We're getting pretty high on the length here, but it's a good argument. Both of them are pretty hard to choose from. But yeah, I think I definitely John
look
Kelly
at that. We're in different rounds. You can take both the motherfuckers.
There you go.
That is true. I
So
mean,
you can have the ultimate team right there. Ultimate sleeper team.
All right, let's wrap this up.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening to the 3rd episode, Rookie Running Backs.
Yeah, I'm
You
really
wanna
happy
talk-
we finally got it done.
Yeah,
let's plug the WISCO
6
kids
hours
again,
later.
because
Yeah.
big thanks for them letting us use their song.
Yes, guys, thank you.
listen to the WISCO Kids music. Follow them on Twitter at Real WISCO Kids.
Kids with a Z at the end.
Yes. Follow us on Twitter at NSFW_DFF Mitch.
At NSFW_DFFBJ.
That's a lot of letters for
That
BJ.
is.
And follow our main account at NSFW_DFF.
But really, listen to WISCO Kids. You won't regret it. Just like our fantasy talk. They're
Yeah.
a home run hit.
They're
They're
probably
pretty good. Pretty
probably
good.
better than us.
And if
this-
anybody hasn't any
And if you're looking for the song at the beginning, if it piques your interest, it's called Run the Table by them. It's about the Packers when Aaron Rodgers said they were going to run the table.
we obviously are Packer fans and we're all from
Yeah.
Wisconsin, so
Green
Go
Bay.
Pack, go, bitch. Go Pack, go.
yes. All right, everybody, have a good one. We'll see you next week.
Later, bitches.